Hey everybody, it's Tara Bryan, and you are listening to the Course Building Secrets podcast. Whether you're a coach or a CEO, the success of your team and clients is based on your ability to deliver a consistent experience and guide them on the fastest path to results. This podcast will give you practical, real-life tips that you can use today to build your online experiences that get results and create raving fans. Why? So you can monetize your expertise and serve more people without adding more time or team to your business. If you're looking to uncover your $1 million framework, package it, and use it to scale, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Hey, in this episode, I want to give you a super practical tip for you building out your online program. So I think that what I'm going to do is on Thursdays in the podcast, we have guest speakers. And I think for the times that we don't have guest speakers scheduled, what I'm going to do is give you just some really tactical tips to help you move your program forward. All right. So one of the things that I'm super passionate about is customer experience. And here is a really small but mighty tip that will help you and serve you as you are moving forward. So it's about your signature in your emails and your signature in the way that you're communicating with prospects versus customers. Okay, so often we don't think about this at all, but when you're meeting somebody for the first time or you're communicating with them to build a relationship, you tend to be more formal, right? You want to put your first name, your last name, perhaps your job title, and your company name. Those are, kind of standard communications when you're communicating with somebody you don't know very well. You tend to be more formal. You put your last name so they can identify who you are. You need to think a little bit more about, is this person going to even recognize my name? Are they going to recognize who it is that's sending the email? Those kinds of things, right? So you're really thinking about how do you establish that relationship. So there's, you may have a standard signature line in your email. So it's your picture and it's your name and job title and all those things, which is great. And that's appropriate and how it should be. So whenever you're communicating with prospects, so people who are not customers yet, you need to be more formal and think in that way of you're building a relationship. And so, you don't just walk up to somebody for the first time, shake their hand and be like, hey, I'm Bob, right? That's not typically how we do things, right? And so, but here's the thing is that when they become a customer, you have built that relationship with them. You are perhaps meeting with them once a week if you're doing a cohort or you're doing group coaching or even one-on-one coaching. You wouldn't at that point continue to introduce yourself so formally to that person, right? You would be like, hey, how's it going? What's going on, right? And your signature line should reflect that. So you could put just, sincerely, and then your first name. You don't need to put all that formality into the emails or into communications because you've developed a relationship with them and they know who you are and you have established more of that informal relationship. So often when I'm auditing people's courses, they're still introducing themselves to their people, their customers who they are, they know well enough to know that they're in their world. And, depending upon how big your community is, you may know them really well, or you may just, they may be an acquaintance. But either way, you don't need to continue to introduce yourself, both in your program and in your communications. So in your communications, it becomes, sincerely your first name, right? Because you're communicating with them. They know you. You don't need to formally have your signature there anymore. The second thing is when you are recording your videos or you're doing anything that's basically in an evergreen status, you don't need to introduce yourself every time you start a training session, right? They already are familiar with you. They're in your program. They're listening to you on a regular basis. It is awkward if every time you went up to somebody in person and you reintroduce yourself, right? They'd be like, we've met a bunch of times. Why are you introducing yourself to me, right? But so often we forget that when we're creating videos or we're creating something for our program is you don't actually have to reintroduce yourself every single time. In fact, it turns somebody off because it makes them feel like you don't see them and you don't know them and you don't realize that they are ingrained in your world. And so customer experience matters even down to those small details. So here's my tip for you today is look and see, are you reintroducing yourself to your people every single time you communicate with them? Or are you building that relationship and therefore you can get a little bit more informal as you're communicating with them as they go? Remember, they're developing a relationship with you, even if you're not meeting with them live. If they're taking your evergreen program, they're with you learning every step of the way in what they're doing. And so they feel pretty connected with you. So if you're introducing yourself after they've been in your community for a while, every time you talk to them, they're going to be like, well, this person isn't paying attention to me or doesn't know what I need or doesn't care about me. And so you have to manufacture that even if you haven't met them live or even if you don't know them well, right? It's not the time to continue to introduce yourself. So there you go. That is my very small nitpicky tip, but it makes a huge difference in the experience that you're creating with your people to turn them into from strangers into raving fans. If they feel connected to you, if they feel like you know them, then that is what starts to build that relationship that will help you have those raving fans who are not only continuing to buy your things, but also recommending you to other people. All right, there you go.
Hey everybody, are you a business owner ready to streamline and scale your business? Imagine solving the biggest business challenges with clarity, a strategy, and a clear plan. Hey, I'm Tara Bryan, and I want to invite you to take the first step towards transforming your business with a free 30-minute discovery call. This call is an opportunity to discuss your goals, identify key challenges, and learn how my mentorship program can help you achieve the success you're aiming for. In just a half hour, we'll explore how you can scale your business by enhancing your authority strategy, engagement strategy, and retention strategy. You'll get personalized advice and a clear path forward. Ready to take the first step? Click on the link below that's in the show notes to book your free discovery call now. I hope to talk to you soon.